Hey everybody, Bones here, Bones Garage, just bringing you an update what's going on at the garage. So, 1969 Camaro SS 350 coming along great. We have gotten a lot done on this car, and we'll start off at the front. Let's go to the engine compartment. As you can see, we now have everything pretty much plumbed in there. We are just starting to get ready to pull down a vacuum in the AC system, so this way we can check, make sure there are no leaks. And what we'll do is when we pull the vacuum, we'll try and get this needle to come around 30 psi, negative 30 psi, which would be absolute zero basically. And this needle here to stay against the little peg right there. That's your high side, that's your low side. And then we'll just leave it for a day or two. Make sure that those needles stay where they are. If they stay where they are, then there's no leaks. If there is a leak, the needle will lose all vacuum and come back up to zero again. So that's what we have to check. Now, if we do lose vacuum, what we do is we got a nitrogen tank and another set of gauges and the whole 9 yards, and we'll plumb into the system and force nitrogen into the system under pressure. Then we'll take a bottle of water and soap and spray all the connections, every connection on this, and find out where we have a leak by whatever bubbles means there's a leak. So the pressure will release itself out of the hose or the connection, and it will bubble up because of the soap, and that will be our leak, and we can fix it and get it all done nice. So yeah, there's what's going on with that. So everything's coming out nice. You can see, let's get these off. We don't need them on yet. Let's get those off so you can see what it looks like without these hoses in the way. And you can see how nice everything comes out. Everything is laid across nicely. Now, if this was a stock setup, the air conditioner would have been on this side where the alternator is, and the alternator would have been on that side. And then you would have had the hoses cutting across the whole top of the motor. It's just really sloppy looking. It's bad enough that we got these hoses hanging out and all of those hoses hanging out. I'd rather not see all of these hoses cutting all the way across to there. So it's just a much better looking way to do it. That's why we have all these new brackets, all the new pulleys, everything is brand new under here. So it's coming out really well. We also now have, I'll move those over to there again, the condenser, the dryer, all the lines going to it, the horn, the hood latch, the support for the hood latch, all of that is now in. And look at how nice and neat everything is down there. I mean, isn't that pretty when it's all nice and neat? Use really good connectors, that heat shrink connectors, so they stay clean. There's no chance of any kind of corrosion getting in between there. We put a little dielectric grease on all the connections to make sure that they stay clean. No corrosion gets in there to break anything or to give false readings or just nothing. Same thing with all our horn plugs and horn wires. Little dielectric grease on them and they stay really nice. You don't have those issues of corrosion. We also have the circuit breaker in for the AC system. That is the circuit breaker right there. Always, they go as close to the battery as possible, but always have to have some kind of electrical cutoff just in case anything ever happens. We have all these power wires coming out of here. We have this that's going to be drawing a lot of power, plus we have all the power inside that we need to move all the doors because everything is working off of electric motors, so servos. And you can see in there, that's where all of the AC and heat stuff are. So now we'll go inside the car. And as you can see there, we have most of the dashboard all back together again. Last time you saw it, dashboard was completely apart. There was nothing in here. Now we have it all back together. We have replaced every single light bulb in there. We've made sure that each one of the light bulbs works and does what it's supposed to from its source all the way back. In other words, if you have over here, there is your low pressure switch for your braking system. We'll power that up and make sure the brake light inside on the dashboard goes on. And we do it for every light and every gauge. We make sure that everything works inside the car. So this way, when you're driving, it's nice when you know what's going on that car, especially on the outside. So we get all that done. You can kind of see in there all the ductwork, the wiring that goes into it. There's your AC and heater box, and that's your blower fan right there, the squirrel cage right there. And some of the wiring going to it. There's a crap load of hoses that go all in there. And then we put the glove box all back in. There's one of the covers that goes down there to hide some of the hoses that are underneath the dash. And that comes out really nice. We actually took the old neutral safety switch, which is right there, off, took it all apart, cleaned it, and put new springs in the contacts, and then put it all back together. Because that switch right there is for this set of contacts here, for your reverse lights, and this set of contacts here are for your neutral safety. So you can't start the car up if the shifter is in drive or reverse. So that all now works. Another thing we're doing back here is we were having problems with these inner lights. They were just really, really bright. They looked like brake lights. I've had this problem with these cars before. I don't know why they do it, but the 1156, they've changed the filament in the bulbs, and they now shine a lot brighter than the original 1157s, which is a two filament system. So this here would have been your regular running light as well as your brake and turn signal, and this was just a regular running light. There was no other that these things did. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a 1157 socket in this one, tie these two together, the outside light and the inside light. So now you'll have this light that will also work with this light. So when you push on the brake, this light and this light will light up bright. When you turn on the lights, they will both light up. And when you turn on the turn signal, this light and this light will flash. So everything will work really nice. And then we got the reverse lights now working, because when you used to put it into reverse, the switch was no good. That reverse light, or both reverse lights, wouldn't go on. So now we have them all working. And all we do is we change the sockets out. So this is your 1156 bulb, which you can see it only has one filament contact in the middle. That's the filament contact right there. And this is your 1157 socket. And if you look closely, you can see it has two filaments, one right there and one right there. And then inside, it has two filament contacts, one there and one there. So the yellow wire, which actually on this side, it would turn out to be a green wire, is for your brake light and your turn signal lights. And then the brown wire there is for your running lights, and the black wire is just your basic ground. So we're going to do the same thing with that. And again, nice connectors. They are heat shrink, so everything gets sealed up. We'll put a little dielectric grease in there, which there already is some dielectric grease in there, and everything will be nice. And we're going to do the same thing on this side, except this side they use a yellow wire, and that's how you can distinguish the right side from the left side. So there you go, guys. That's what's going on at the shop. I will keep you up to date as we go. The 69's coming out beautiful. Can't wait to get her all finished and get her back out on the road. Have fun. Talk to you soon. Okay, bye.